Hey, good Friday evening. I'm meteorologist Sam Lucy. We're taking a live look downtown on our Perry and Young Tower Cam as we're awaiting Nestor's approach to the Panhandle. Still a couple hundred miles away from us, but we are starting to feel some of those effects, especially with that rainfall that we've experienced for the majority of the day. Now, current temperatures sitting right around 59 degrees here in Panama City. Dew point at 57, so feeling slightly humid out there, even with some of that rain as well. Notice those wind speeds around 13 miles per hour currently, and 14 over at Northwest Florida Beaches International. Apalachicola coming in about 15 miles per hour. We can expect these to increase over the next several hours, likely peaking very early tomorrow morning. Now, wave heights around the area still a little slow to pick up, but around 3 to 4 feet, especially over Gulf Bay and Walton counties, even over towards Okaloosa County as well. You don't have to go too far offshore to see those waves start to increase 5 to 6 and likely even a little bit higher, even closer to 10 further out. Now, we do have several watches and warnings in place right now across the Panhandle, and those will still be in effect over the next several hours and into most of tomorrow. Tropical storm warning includes all of the Panhandle, at least the central Panhandle, into the Big Bend. That's Walton, Holmes, Washington Bay, Jackson, Calhoun, Gulf, Liberty, and Franklin counties, as well as Leon, Wakulla, and places off to the east. Still, you notice these stats here for Nestor, currently moving to the northeast around 22 miles per hour. And as the storm continues to move closer to the Panhandle, these are some of the impacts that we can expect to see. Those wind speeds now only seen around 10 to 15 miles per hour at the coast, likely going to increase around 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts closer to 50, especially closer to Apalachicola and areas off to our southeast. That rain has been steadily picking up throughout the day today and will continue through the rest of the night. We could see some potential street and river flash flooding, mainly some ponding on the roadways, as we're expecting around 3 to 5 inches. That gradient flowing from the northwest to the southeast. That means those higher amounts going to be closer to where the center of Nestor is, and that storm surge still on the eastern side of that as we get a lot of that onshore flow. Could be around 2 to 5 feet, likely lower in Walton Bay counties, but then starting to pick up the further southeast you go. So Franklin and parts of Gulf County going to be a little bit closer to that 5-foot range. Isolated tornadoes still a threat as we head through the next couple hours and into the early morning as Nestor approaches. These are the current stats here. Northeast at 22 miles per hour. No change though in the winds, still around 60 miles per hour, gusting just a little bit higher, which is still about 15 miles per hour from hurricane strength. So this is a solid tropical storm that's still continuing to flow to the north and east. Here is the cone, the National Hurricane Center tropical storm cone. This is going to be moving likely to the east of Panama City. That's why a lot of those impacts more concentrated for Gulf and Franklin counties, even Liberty County as well. This is likely going to come on shore near Mexico Beach or just to the south and east, more Port St. Joe towards Apalachicola. So we're going to be watching for that very early tomorrow morning. Notice 1 a.m. Saturday, still a little bit offshore, but it should be here by around 3 to 4, continuing as a tropical storm by the time it's still going towards Albany, Georgia. Now that's going to continue off to the northeast, still going through parts of South Carolina and even North Carolina before emerging back into the Atlantic. Now it's likely going to maintain its tropical storm strength, but still weakening along the way. Hopefully that will weaken even more than that tropical storm characteristics here. Radar is showing the heaviest bands of rain still offshore right now. Notice the precip off to our north and west really starting to die out. That's because that storm kind of concentrating a lot of that energy closer to it. Now, we do have some heavy bands of showers just moving offshore from Apalachicola to Port St. Joe as well as Panama City. So a couple of these areas getting some breaks from the rain right now, but that will be coming to an end very shortly as we go through the next couple of hours. FUTURECAST is keeping that heavy rain more so off to the east. So Walton County, you could see an even better break by the time we get to 1 a.m. That could go for the same in parts of Holmes County as well. The farther west you are, the less rain that you're going to be dealing with through the overnight and into early tomorrow morning. Again, though, Franklin County, parts of Liberty County and Gulf County going to be dealing with heavy rain through the overnight. That's where we're going to see those highest rain totals. Now, again, as we get through Saturday morning, we are expecting this storm going to get a little bit closer to the area like we were thinking towards towards Mexico Beach or just off to the southeast in Gulf County and over towards Franklin County as well. Now again, that moves off to the northeast quickly. Conditions start to improve by the time we get into Saturday afternoon and continuing into Sunday as well. Now, wind speeds, what we can anticipate from this as it continues to get closer to the area by around 4 or 5 a.m. We're still looking at winds around 20 miles per hour in Bay County, about 25 to 30 the further southeast, or at least the closer to the center of the storm you go. Notice offshore around 40 miles per hour, and as that continues to get into the panhandle, we'll see those winds increase as well. Now, this is the latest update as of 7 p.m. The next full update will come at 10 p.m. and we'll have more updates for you when that happens.